that do not know me, there may be a few, but I am Katelyn Fulton, Century 21 Percy Fulton. And today we're going to be doing a 4-part series of the database. So we're going to be talking all about the basics of real estate, but this is probably the most important thing that you will ever learn in the business. And I know it's not sexy, it's not pretty, it's boring, but this is probably the most important thing that you guys will be able to do for your business. And I'm going to talk all about what a database is, for those of you that have never heard of it, what a contact list is, sphere of influence, all of that good stuff. If you've heard me talk a lot about this topic, and you know it's probably one of my favorite things to talk about because I know it's where a lot of everybody's business will come from. And that's why I like to teach this, because it's where I love to see people focus in. I was just part of the Buzz conference a few weeks ago. I moderated a panel of agents, and it was a whole day of agents talking about
Nelson Line 101, Nelson Line 101.
It was a whole bunch of agents talking about their success, and literally every single agent that stood on that stage, their business came from the people they knew, their network, referrals, past clients. So I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. It is what it is. It's not a beautiful, exciting, groundbreaking thing to learn about, but it is what every single agent standing on that stage talked about, was consistently updating a database, growing a client base, and building relationships with people. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you guys have questions, feel free to throw them at me while we're talking. I'll answer them as we go. It's going to be a little bit different than my regular database session. So we're going to kind of whip into it. So again, this is the advanced database series. There's going to be a 4-part, and we'll talk about that soon. So I got a little fancy with my database thing. I was very proud of this. So again, talking about database, and again, it's another part of our Systems for Success program, but I'm going to say it's a little bit of a step up. So it's going to be more catered, both brand new agents, but then I've got some agents in here that are experienced. So it's going to cater a little bit more to you guys as well. So everyone should be able to pull something from this. All right, let's get started. So we're going to talk about what a client database is, why it's important to have your database, where to store it. We're going to come up with a communication plan, and then we'll get a little bit into scripts and techniques, but it's also going to be part of our week 3 of the database. I've been having a lot of requests for people that want to learn about scripts, dialogues, objection handling. So I am going to do a session on that on the 3rd week. Okay, so what is a database? Do any of you guys not know what a database is? And it's okay if you don't, because that's what we're going to be doing. Any of my new guys not know? I know Ginny's probably done a couple sessions with each person. I know she probably drills it in you. Another word could be client list, sphere of influence. There's many different ways. I just call it a database, which honestly, it's basically just literally a structured set of data that's held in a computer or on a piece of paper, wherever you want. I'm going to talk about paper as well, but it's just a set of data. Typically what we teach you is to store it into a CRM, which is a client relationship management tool. And like I said, it's the most valuable tool that allows you to track and manage your clients by collecting their information. So that data that you're collecting is their name, phone number, email address, mailing address, all that stuff. That's what the data is that we're holding. Again, it's nothing very exciting, but that is what the data is that we're looking for. So why do we need to have and grow this database? So I was just saying 70 to 80% of your business will come from your database, whether it's through referrals, through word of mouth, through your past clients, or even just your sphere of influence, which is the people that you know, your friends, your family, maybe people you've worked with in the past, people you've played sports with, people that you directly know and have relationships with. A stat that we learned about actually at Buzz was 86% of buyers and sellers would actually use their agent again and would recommend them to others. That's a huge number. So if you can build a good relationship with a client, there's a high chance that they're going to refer you if you did a good job. And we're going to talk a lot about that as well, and how you can get more referrals from these people. And what's wild of your clients as well, only 9% actually remember their agent's name after 2 years. It's a very kind of sad, very sad. actually. And the reason for that is because a lot of people will do a sale with their clients and they'll never talk to them again. Whether they had a bad experience. I've had agents that sold properties in 2021 who bought it for a ridiculous amount of money, and maybe they've lost money, so now they're embarrassed to reach out to them. They got busy with other tasks, and then years come very quickly. Like they go very fast. You'll shock yourself if you ever go back to realize that you haven't talked to a past client in over a year. It happens way more than you think. And it is sad that only 9% of people actually do remember their agent's name. And so I'm going to try to switch that, because I want your clients to remember who you are, and I want them to be that 86% that reuse you again. So I made this nice and bright in a different color because I want you guys to know these numbers. So your sphere of influence. So again, these are people that you know, family, friends, colleagues, people you played sports with, people that you just know through acquaintances. This is the first place that you want to look when you're starting this contact list. And so when you're a brand new agent, this is what Ginny is going to get you to do. And it's for a reason. It's because most of the business is going to come from this list. So when you're starting your database, if you haven't, I know that I've got some experienced people in here that have already started this process, but if you have not and you want to just start fresh, this is where you're going to start. You're going to go, I know Claire even a few weeks ago was getting some of the new agents to open up their phones to realize they've got like 380 contacts in their phones. I would start there. Go through your phone list. Whose contact information do you have? Go to your Instagram page after that. Go to your Facebook. Go to all the different places you've got. If you've been married before, you may even have a invitation list that you created at some point with mailing addresses. These are all really good places to start. And then you're going to reach out to all of these people, get their contact information. Just, these are your friends. So it's okay to be like, hey, Carly, I know it's been a while, but I just got my real estate license. I've got some homework. Do you mind if I get your email address and your mailing address? Like, I'm assuming your best friend's not going to tell you to like screw off or anything, right? And if they do, then take them off your list. Like these are your friends. So this is the first place, and this is everyone you know. So I did again at that panel that I did. I had an agent that was making over 800,000, and she cut down her list and let me know where each person came from. And 74% of her business came from family and friends. 26% of that came from her community, which was the Spanish community. So she actually goes into community events. She gets to know people, and those have now become a part of her sphere of influence as well. So this is going to be a huge chunk of that 80%. Next set is going, the other side of your business is going to come from referrals. So this is the other piece that's coming from referrals from your network. So the sphere of influence, any of your past clients, and your referral partners. So your sphere of influence, obviously, if you're a brand new agent, you don't have any past clients yet to refer you. So you're going to be relying a lot heavily on that sphere of influence. And there's a lot of different activities that you can do to build relationships with them. But 25% of your referrals should come from your sphere of influence. 28% should come from professional partners, which is, I'm going to talk heavily actually on this today. This could be other real estate agents. This could be mortgage brokers, insurance people, lawyers. So you should be getting referral business from professional partners. And then there's other people, which are just random. And then of course, 40% should come from your past clients. So anyone that's actually done business with you, you should be building relationships with these people still to get referrals. And the other source of business, of course, is going to be brand new business. So this is a small percentage of your business is going to come from strangers that you don't know and other random sources. So again, 20%. These are going to come from sources such as postcards. Some people are doing farming. Some people are doing social media. You may have listings and you get realtor.ca leads. Online leads is a big thing as well. So these are all other parts of building your business that are separate from your database. So these are complete strangers, and these come from those different sources, like your open houses, door knocking, cold calling. This is that other source that you guys are hopefully working on as well. So we get lots of agents that ask us, where should I be spending my money? Where should I be spending my time? I've got this amount of money, where should I be putting it? And I would say you are much better off spending and focusing your time and money in this space than any other space. And by this space, I mean your database, the people you know, your referral network, and all of that. This is where you should be spending 80% of your time should be spent on your database and not on that source that's only getting you 20% of your business. So if you are not receiving referrals or you're not receiving business from your network, this is a good time to ask yourself, why are you not? And typically why you're not getting business from these people is either you're not staying in touch with them, you're not building relationships with them, or you actually have not asked for business. You haven't asked for referrals, you haven't asked for business, you haven't put yourself out there for that opportunity. So these are really big reasons why you probably haven't. Any of my experienced agents have other reasons why you probably haven't received referrals. Maybe you did a bad job. It wasn't a good experience for that client. So these are all things that you may want to question if you have reached out to your database and nobody on it has worked with you. There's a specific reason probably. And being new is not one of them. I'll tell you that much. Sometimes I'm seeing a lot more newer agents actually winning listings from experienced agents right now because of the new knowledge that they're coming with. They've got a new knowledge of marketing. They've got more creativity. They've got more time on their hands. So sometimes these new guys are actually outperforming on the experienced agents right now. So unfortunately, most of our focus, and I see this from all across the board, most agents' focus is focused on leads. And this is a huge, even when I'm meeting with brand new agents, they're always asking, where do the leads come from? Do you give me leads? And I'm like, I don't know what that means. Like, is that an online lead? Is that just a random phone number off of a website? Or is that a live client that's ready to go? Because if you're looking for a live client, that's in the relationship building that you have to do. So that's the leads that you guys want to build. So unfortunately, most agents are focused on random leads coming to them. They're too focused on door knocking, billboards, sending random flyers like once in a blue moon to a certain neighborhood. And these are all good things to be doing, but they should be in addition to your database, and they shouldn't be your primary focus. Your primary focus every day should be building this database and actually like talking to people that are already in your network. And again, I'm going to talk about different ways that you can do this as well. But unfortunately, most people focus too much on this new business, which is only giving you 20% versus the 80% of your business, which is coming from that database already. I know we're all guilty of that, by the way. So today we're going to talk about, for our database, we want to focus on, for our database, we focus also on who we've sold houses to, which is great. But we want to start to focus a lot more on the people in that database who give you referrals. So I'm sure you have a couple people on that list that actually do refer you and send you to their parents and their grandparents, and there's going to be referrals. Those are your A+ people, the people that haven't even worked with you and are giving you business. That's a good person right there. People that have worked with you and are still referring you, that's an A+ client as well. So you want to focus a lot of attention on these people and letting them know how much you appreciate it as well. So why do people refer you to family and friends? Typically because they trust you and they believe that you're going to take care of those that are close to them. The other reason is they give you business hoping that they will get business in return. That's a huge one, actually. There's a lot of people that I give business to because I hope that they're going to buy a house with me one day. Like, oh, you own a cupcake shop? Sure, I'm going to order cupcakes for all my open houses from you because I want you to buy a house with me one day. Or I'm going to get my hair done by you because I hope that you're going to buy a house with me. I'm going to get my car taken care of by you because I want you to do the same for me. So there's always kind of a weird ulterior motive to this, but this is why people will refer business to you. They either trust you to take care of the people that they love, or they want business back. So this is another thing to tap into people that are giving you business. Do they own a business as well that they want your business too? Okay, so this is your untapped secret weapon. So if anyone has been looking for that secret sauce, that secret pill, they're not getting clients, I am literally throwing it at you. It is right here in front of your face. And again, it's nothing groundbreaking. It's nothing new. They've been doing this for many, 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 many years. And that's why I think people try to not do it, because it's not fun and it's not exciting. It's just boring, but it is your secret weapon. So you want to work with people that you can mutually benefit from. So again, people that want referrals from you as well. And who is this group for realtors? So who do you guys think you can mutually benefit from? Anybody? This is a real question. Who do you think you guys can benefit from, or who can you give business to that you could also use? Yes, a mortgage broker, lawyer. Anyone else in the process? Home inspectors. Who else do you use? Painters, stagers. There's so many people in that process that you guys work very closely with that need you, but you also need them. So we want to tap into that group today. So in addition to your regular database, you're going to you can only tap into your sphere of net or your sphere of influence and your past clients for so long. And like, it's definitely a source to continuously build relationships with. But today I want to expand your database, and I want to talk about this certain group of professional people that you can build a referral network with as well. So this is where it's a little bit different from my typical database. I want to focus on this professional network as well. So this is going to be called your core 100. And this is what your homework's going to be probably forever. I will always give you this homework for the rest of your career, but your core 100. So these are people that help your clients in the real estate process. These are your referral partners that are also loyal to you. They're going to be people that help you with all parts of the transaction. So like we just said, lawyers, contractors, stagers, home inspectors, all that stuff. So these are people that are going to help you with all objections. So Claire's talked about this too. It's always nice when a client says, hey, do you have someone that can do this? And you're like, yeah, I have a guy that can do this. And you've got like, and it's like comes right away. Like you already know who your go-to is when your client asks you. So we want you to start to create this list of your core 100. And what I also want to emphasize is having a different core 100 than each other. So I know a lot of us go to each other for referrals of people in the industry, and that's great and all, but it'd be really nice if you can all have your own stager, or you all start to grow and you all have your own painter and people that you have personally that you can keep. Because if you're that main source for that painter, and that real estate agent's giving that painter all of these other real estate agents, that guy that's feeding that painter, that's his referral partner. He's giving business to that main realtor that's been referring other realtors to him. So it's good to have other agents network, but you want to start to put yourself out there to get your own as well. And we're going to go over that script as well to figure out how we can find your core 100. So when you give them business, they will give you business. And this is a huge way to grow. The other way is to do this through other real estate agents through other areas of the country. So we just went to a Century 21 conference and we just met agents from all over the country. And that's the whole point, is to meet people to refer business back and forth to. People have people moving to Toronto all the time. So if you can be like that Sudbury agent's Toronto agent, then you've got a connection there. So it's good to have different agents that you can pass business to and from. It's a great way to grow your database on top of the people that you already know. So again, in addition to your own sphere of influence. So what does that conversation actually look like? So you do have to define the relationship. So when you're meeting with these people, have you guys ever got calls from mortgage brokers? I'm going to assume everybody in this room has got a LinkedIn message, Facebook message, and they're always asking for coffee, right? My number one thing when people say that to me is, okay, well, when you send me a client, I will refer business to you. Like, it's as simple as that. If a mortgage broker wants your business, ask them if they've got business for you. As soon as they send you that lead, great, we can talk about growing a business. There's so many mortgage brokers out there that just want to get coffee, but you want to meet with someone that's going to give you business, and that's going to give you, or you're going to give business to them, they're going to give business back. So when you're meeting with these people, you want to define that relationship. Like, I'm looking to grow my core 100. If you're giving another agent business, I don't want you in my core 100. I want to have someone that's on my side. So you're going to define that relationship to let them know this is a business relationship. If I refer you, will you refer me and use me in the real estate process? That's a very important question, because if you ask your stager, well, if I give business to you, are you going to refer me in the real estate process? And if they say no, you should probably look at a different source. So there is some scripts, and I can give this guys to you as well. But there's scripts for building this core 100, and I think it's a great spot. So hopefully most of my experienced guys have already started their database with the people they know. So if you have taken that step, you're going to now start to create this step and start to reach out to people in the industry. I can read this if you want, but I think I'm going to go over all this in my scripts for next week. But there was one important line I wanted to see. It was said, I wanted to see if you were interested in receiving potential clients from me. Of course, they're going to say yes. So of course, who wouldn't be? And then there's this line here. If someone already has a realtor, move on. So you don't want to compete for their referrals. You want to get your own referrals from this person. And it's going to take you guys time. You probably have a stager right now. You need a stager next week. No problem. Use the one that's already working with agents. But your goal over time is to start to build relationships until you find that person. So yes, I will send you guys this script, but again, we're going to go over this in our scripts in a couple of weeks as well. Okay, so when you are going to your listing and your buyer presentations, I want you to also add that when you work with me, you're working with this team. So if you're not on a team, you're an individual agent, your team is now becoming your core 100. That is your team. So you could be the Susan team, and you've got your plumbers, your electricians, you've got a team, but you're the only agent on the team. So the more that you refer this, or the more that you use and refer this group, the more referrals you're going to get. So the step one to growing this database is make a list of everybody that is needed in the sales process and people who that maybe you're already giving business to. So that's where you're going to start. Again, this is in addition to the people that you already know. So we're just adding more to your database. I've created a list already. So this could be part of your listing package as well, but you could say my network is a valuable asset. I've spent many years building a team of people that help bring value to every transaction, and I know they can help you too. So you can just create this. You don't have to put the names of your people on here, but just let your buyers and your sellers know that you have a painter, a stager, a flooring guy, a handyman, a roofing guy, all these different people. These are all people that you could easily work some sort of referral transaction with. And I would just start with this list literally and go on Google and start to like Google people, ask your friends if they have anyone in their family as well that does this. Maybe you've got your best friend's husband is a home inspector, or maybe he's a landscaper and you can now give him business and he can refer back. So I would start with your database at least and go through your list of past clients, go through your friends, like who of your friends and your family and your past clients are in these industries that you can actually build a referral with through your direct network. And then if you don't, you could even go on Instagram, Facebook and say, hey, do you have a recommendation for an accountant? Do you have a recommendation for this? You'd be shocked to see how many people will actually leave a comment on your post when you ask for recommendations, or if you go into those community Facebook groups. Are any of you guys part of community Facebook groups? Yeah. It's like whatever your community is. If you go on there, I'm sure your neighborhood has one. And if it doesn't, you should probably start one. But you could probably go on there and be like, hey guys, who's our local moving company? And you'll get probably a few people. And then I would reach out to those people and say, hey, do you want to be part of my referral network? Do you have a real estate agent in your network? And if they're like, no, I actually don't, then you're like, great, I want to work with you. Does that all make sense a little bit? Okay. In addition to those things, like I had mentioned, there's a whole bunch of other things, not necessarily that are related to the home buying process, but it could be people like your personal trainer. Like if your personal trainer's wife's like a realtor, maybe you want to get another personal trainer. As bad as that sounds, like I would start to think of the people that you're paying in this type of way. I know it sounds bad, but like like even like our charcuterie girl, like we've got a girl that lives around the corner that does charcuterie boards. And my hope is that if we keep buying charcuterie boards off you, you might refer a buyer or seller to us, right? If you get your hair done, ask your hairdresser, like, hey, if I give you people and come get their hair done, if I refer people to come get their hair done to you, will you refer people to buy and sell houses with me? So you're giving referrals back, right? Your car mechanic, like I'll never use Santic's car mechanic because that guy's already his other uncle. Like I already, like that guy's Santic is loyal to that guy, right? So find people that you can do business with that are going to refer you and you're going to refer back. What's another one? Like a nail studio. How many people go to get their nails done and then someone's like, oh, who do you get your nails done by? And you're like, oh, this girl. And then they end up going there. Like you're giving them business in return and then you're asking for it back. So think of all those other people that you go to regularly and start to consider this as your new network of people as well. I think this is actually almost more powerful than your sphere of influence in a way. They're going to start to become your sphere of influence. But if you are already sick of reaching out to your friends and family, this is a whole different network group that you can reach out to. Let's see. I haven't read this part. So even if none of these people ever referred one buyer or seller to you, but you made the effort to build a relationship with them, statistically, you would have just guaranteed yourself 150 transactions over the next 5 to 7 years, just by having a person in each of these contacts. And that's just because they say like 10% of your database should buy or sell a house with you. And that's just the math. All right, secret sauce. Or secret pill, the secrets. What would a referral look like? So how would you reward them? Do any of you guys do any referral rewards? Yeah. Chad, you probably do.
Cash.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. That's illegal. Anything else? Do any of you guys like buy them flowers, send them a thank you card? Something like that. We always does anyone not reward people that refer you? Because if you are, that's a huge missed opportunity as well. And the whole point is to define that relationship and let them know that they are a top referral and that you would appreciate the same. So when you are thanking them, I think I already talked about this in a little bit, but thank them as soon as they give you that referral, whether it works out or not. And I think Nelson taught me that very early on in my career. If they give you a referral, whether that's a cold lead, hot lead, warm lead, send them a thank you. Before it closes, before it firms, show them that you appreciate them even referring you because you're rewarding that behavior right away. And then if they do close, maybe you do something else. Maybe you grab a coffee with them, talk more about this referral business that you want to get from them. But definitely always reward whoever refers you. And then actually give them referrals as well. So don't forget, this is a two-way street with this core 100. You also have to refer business to these people. So if you're giving them business, they're going to give you business in return. So we're going to get marketing materials for them to give out, or you can create them for them. I would give them some of your marketing materials. Maybe you've got business cards, maybe you've got postcards, something to state that you guys have a partnership of some sort. Contact them quarterly if no referrals have been given. Maybe recommend a coffee or lunch several times a year. And of course, make sure they're added to your CRM and they're part of your database advertising. So make sure they're getting your monthly newsletters from you, your holiday cards, whatever you're sending out at Christmas. If you have agent referrals, don't forget to put these guys on your contact list as well. If you've ever received a referral from another agent, put them on your client advertising as well. If you've got a plumber, put him on your newsletter. You've got an electrician, put him on your newsletter. So even if they haven't bought or sold a house through you, but maybe they're sending you clients, make sure you're advertising to them the same way that you are to your sphere of influence. Let's take referrals to the next level. Okay, so like I said, send a thank you card as soon as you receive that referral and not at closing. We even just got a referral, not a referral, Buffini. Are any of you guys going to Buffini I think it's next month? Did any of you sign up for that? Yeah. So Buffini is all about the thank you card. We went to, again, conference and I've gotten 2 cards. So what Buffini is really big on is referrals. He's huge on this actually. And he's huge on thank you cards. And if you're a part of his coaching program, every single month he mails you a box with blank cards and stickers that say, like, I'm never too busy for your referrals. And then like we just got some from conference from agents we just met, and I saw like the Brian Buffini sticker. I think Alex Roy got one yesterday. I knew it was exactly a Buffini card. And it has the sticker on it, but it's part of his coaching program is all about thank you cards and getting referrals. This is a big part of that coaching. So if you are interested to learn a little bit more about this, I would recommend going to that. I think it's is it a 1 day event? 2 day, 1 day event. It's like $200. So it's a good conference to go to as well. Give them great referrals when they buy, sell, refer you. And again, give them as many referrals as possible. And if they have another real estate agent or they were your referral partner and then they bought a house with somebody else, then you're going to get a new plumber. That's just how it works. As petty as it sounds, guys, this is business. So you have to think of it in a little bit of a different way now. So this group of contacts, the good thing about these guys is that they're not going to get tired of talking to you because you're hopefully in contact so often, referring business back and forth, that you're both helping each other. So they're never going to be annoyed at you when you're like, hey, how's it going? Because they already know what's up. They know what's happening. They know this is a business to business relationship. So this is kind of a more fun conversation. Sometimes it takes a little bit pressure off versus calling your uncle and be like, hey, Uncle Bob, like, are you ready to buy a house yet? Like, it's a little bit different that way. Another thing that I've been learning a lot lately, which I kind of thought about, but also the pandemic kind of reminded me of this a little bit too, but the things that we don't own. And so I'm going to get a little bit into CRM platforms now, but things that we don't own are things like social media platforms. Like Instagram could go out tomorrow. Like they could go out of business in any day. TikTok, same thing. These are all apps that could literally go out of business. So if you're focused on all of these platforms like that, that's gone. Like if Facebook all of a sudden decides to lose, like they're gone. And so is your contact list. Postcard companies, those could go out of business at some point as well. Maybe we become a paperless society at some point. I know like Yellow Pages was once a source that we relied on. Newspapers was a source, and it goes away at some point. Marketing websites, those could go away. Your website could go away. Your CRM company could go out of business as well. So you don't own these things. So we don't want to rely on all of these sources for our business either. But what you do own is your email list, your address book, your contact list, your relationships with people. You own these. So you have full control over this. And that's why we're so passionate about getting you guys to get your contacts onto an Excel sheet or get it somewhere, because you do own that. You own those relationships with people. They're only going to go away when they pass away, unfortunately. So they may change their email address, but they're still going to be that human that you're building a relationship with. So I want to get away from relying on certain platforms and focus more on building relationships with the people that you know in that sphere that we're growing. So one of the best questions I get is, what is the best CRM? It's probably like the number one question we see on all of those, like in those Facebook community groups. Probably one of the number one questions we get asked is, what's the best CRM? And I'm going to say it's the one that you're going to use. So it can be as basic or advanced as you are able to handle. But at the end of the day, you just want to choose one that you understand and that you're going to use. And I know I've taught you guys all about Hub 21. I've really drilled it into you guys to have one. I don't care which one you use. That's the one I know and I can teach you guys. That's why I have it. It's the one you guys have for free. So that's also why we teach it for you. But we have agents that get lost in the CRM and then they just decide, like, it's not for me. So what we've been doing lately, even we had an agent who's been in the business for a few years, and Carly had her just write it down on paper and pen, and she did. I think she did it in a week, right?
The same day.
Same day. So if you want to do paper and pen, no problem. The pros of having it, like literally just say you got like a notebook of all your leads or your past clients, wherever it is, it's just on a piece of paper. Pros is that it's easy to use, especially for those that are not tech savvy. The cons are, if you lose that booklet or lose that piece of paper, you literally have no backup. So that's a faux pas right there. And it's hard to mass communicate with these people. It's very individual. You're just talking to these people off a list. So it's hard to set out mass communication or automated communication as well to kind of make your business a little bit easier and running in the background. So having a newsletter automatically send every month. It's very more manual work if you're doing it that way, but it doesn't say it doesn't work. We even have a guy, one of our past agents who just retired. I think he had his database on a Rolodex. Is that what it's called? The Rolodex? It's like a address book on like recipe cards, and they roll it and it's in alphabetical order. You know what? He was able to retire and there's his database, and anybody could help him put that onto an Excel sheet at some point, but that's what worked for him. So don't think that you're like, you don't have to be above it either. If that's the way you roll, doesn't matter how old you are, if pen and paper is the way to go, do it. The middle one would be just an Excel sheet. And I would actually recommend every agent have it on an Excel sheet anyways, in like a CSV file. The pros of having it on an Excel sheet, and what I mean by Excel is having like first name, last name, email, mailing address, email address, phone number, last time you contacted them. Like it can literally just be on one Excel sheet. So it doesn't have to be, there's no formulas or anything like that. The pros of having it on an Excel sheet is that it's easy to use and you can track it, and you can use that CSV file and always update it. So any platform that you have, any CRM, if you've got that Excel sheet, you're just installing it into whatever platform you have. So I actually recommend always having that Excel sheet. Carly, you might have a different technique because you're more techie than even I am, but would you do Excel? Okay. Now, the cons of having an Excel sheet is there's no automation. It's still very manual. If you want to send out a mass email or automate that communication, you can't really do that from an Excel sheet other than maybe like going down your email list and copying and pasting every email and putting it on Gmail. That's an option too. So if you want to keep it really easy, but again, it's not automated. And then the last one's your CRM platform. So that would have been the Hub 21, My Engage. There's Follow Up Boss, there's Top Producer. There's hundreds of CRMs out there that you can buy into. They're all very different. The pros of having like a professional CRM platform is the ability to mass communicate. So either automated or custom, and the ability to organize your list of people. So most of these CRMs will remind you to follow up with people. Like the CRM that we use, the C21 Engage, every day when you open the dashboard, it actually gives you 5 people to call that day. And then as you go through it, it'll give you a new 5 people. So there's some that will do that. There's some that will remind you. There's some that will just automatically do like birthdays, all of that stuff. So having a CRM really just organizes your communication with them. The cons is it can take time to learn and it can get overwhelming. So that's the con of it all. Any questions on the CRMs? No? Okay, so now there's different communication techniques. So once you've got that list of people, you've reached out to them, you've got their contact information, you're ready to go. There's different ways that you're going to communicate with them. There's email communications. So you could send monthly newsletters to them. You can send quarterly emails to them, like those home maintenance emails. You could set them up on drip campaigns. So maybe you have a lead on the new platform. You can actually send campaigns like saying, thank you so much for meeting. And then for like 6 months, it will send them a follow-up email until they're ready to go. There's so many different campaigns. Even after they sold their house, there's campaigns that will send them follow-ups to check in on them to see how they're doing. So if you're really bad at the follow-ups, email communication campaigns are really good. You can do just manual check-ins. Hey, Sally, how's it going? You can email like CMA market updates. These are all different ideas of different ways to build relationships with those people and add value and remind them that you're in the business. The other way is snail mail. I know I just saw this on my table, so I was going to pull it up. Snail mail still works. So Christmas is coming up. If you guys haven't built those nurturing relationships, you might want to start ordering your Christmas cards. What is this from? I have no idea. A printing company. Here's a book if anyone wants it. Ginny Bunts is on their mailing list, which is kind of good. You're on their database. So if you guys snail mail, those handwritten thank you cards, like I was saying, when you get a referral, you send snail mail. Some people are still doing mail out newsletters like Morris Marketing Kits. They'll actually physically mail a newsletter to your database. Again, database, if you have it on an Excel sheet, you can give Morris Marketing, you can give kits. If you have it all on an Excel sheet, your contact list can be used all over the place. Postcards, And physical gifts. I don't know if, is anyone Amazon gifts to their clients? Because I sure do. I don't know. Amazon's the best. When you got closing gifts, you don't want to go shopping, Amazon them their closing gift. Saves you a trip as well. Kalila flowers, different ways to mail gifts out. People love getting gifts, so don't forget about that touch as well. Then you got your social media and video. I would say this is more for your marketing efforts to continuously remind your people. So having your friends, family, past clients, referral partners on all of your social media platforms as well. These are good. You can DM people from these. You can send videos. There's lots of ways that you can use social media to continue to build those relationships. If they had a baby, congratulations on your baby. You can write on TikTok, I don't even know. Can you comment? Yeah. TikTok comments, Instagram, congratulations on your baby. And then maybe you send them a snail mail letter or you send them a snail mail gift. So there's different ways that you can build the relationship that way. In person for my extrovert agents, client events, pop-bys, which are basically small gifts that you're popping by to give to them to ask for referrals. So the pumpkins were good for fall, or actually you still have time. Pumpkins for Halloween, you can still have time for that. Pumpkin pie, I'm sure people will still eat that even though Thanksgiving's gone. So you still have time to do something for the fall that way. Going out for coffee, lunch, networking events, all of these coaching programs that we encourage you guys to go to are not only just to go learn, they're actually to go network with other real estate agents from the GTA, go meet other people. There's mortgage brokers there. There's people of all industries like will go to these coaching events to go meet real estate agents. Even if they're not selling houses, you'll find probably a home inspector there giving their card out trying to build a referral business with agents. So if you've been thinking about Buffini or Richard Robbins, that's the additional way to try to build that core 100 as well. And then of course your phone, this really magical tool that we bring around everywhere. It's really good for calling people, really good for texting if you're an introvert and don't like to talk to people. FaceTime if you want to see them. So this thing communicates very well with people as well. Anyone else have any other ideas that I haven't mentioned? No? Good.
I do like quick happy birthdays.
Yeah.
Quick happy birthday video on Facebook.
Exactly. And you get your clients happy birthdays from FinTrack because you guys are getting their IDs. So you, as soon as you get their ID, put their birthday in your calendar and then send them either cards, video, text, whatever it is, but you can put birthdays in very easily as well. House anniversaries, all that good stuff. And then what we want to do, the key to all of this is having a system. So a touch point communication plan. So your goal honestly is to have 33 touches per year. And the keywords being a system. So really knowing when you're going to do all these communications. So again, if you got a referral from a person, your system could be, okay, send them a handwritten card as soon as you get it. That's your system. The other way to easily break it down is into months. So I've got October, November, December, January, February. So break it down into months. What holidays coming up in each of those months? So I've got Thanksgiving, November, Remembrance Day, December, you've got Christmas, January, New Year, February, Valentine's. There's so many different things you guys could do for holidays for your referral partners, whether you want to send them pumpkins. Again, this is for your referral group as well. Christmas, you might be sending Christmas cards. I know people send out calendars, which Ginny's put out. I don't know if anyone needs to order magnet calendars. Ginny does that every year. And the purpose again is to mail stuff to your database. So if you want that, I think, are you still taking orders? We're not taking orders anymore, but colortech.com or magnetstreet.com, those all offer. Although I was laughing, we just went to Newfoundland conference and I didn't think about this. But he was saying, well, I don't know why people keep sending magnets because everybody has stainless steel fridges and they don't even stick. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So we have to think of something else for Christmas in the coming years. But just a thought, magnets may not be, those may be extinct soon too, which is why I was saying, don't ever rely heavily on one source because that product could totally go out at some point. It's on the side. So it depends if your fridge goes into like a shelving unit or if they've got a little gap. Depends on how their fridge is set up. But yeah, keychain, doormats, do something. New Year's, What I recommend even like adding into some of these months is like your CMA market update. So reaching out to your past clients, let them know what their house is worth. You may have certain months where you want to do your client events. So you get to create this system and you get to decide what you want to do each month with your database. But every single month, your database should be getting something from you, whether it's email, text, call, all those things I just mentioned. Pick a few of these. You don't have to do all of them, of course. Like this is a lot. Pick a few of these ways that you like to communicate with people and put them into some sort of organized system for a month. Oh, there's Mr. Roy. Perfect. Okay. Anyone have questions on all that? I know I've chucked a lot at you. Perfect. Okay, so our target is to have 5 to 10 conversations per day. That's with any prospecting. If I was to tell you to do cold calling, door knocking, your whole goal is to have 5 to 10 conversations a day. If you're going to be having those conversations, I think the best ones are to your sphere of influence, past clients, and your core 100. Those are the people that you should just be focused on for those 5 to 10 conversations a day. It doesn't have to be calling them. If you hate calling and you're introverted like me, just text them. It's okay. I think the phone call works, but honestly, some people don't want to receive that call either during the middle of their work day. And you're like, hey, just looking for more referrals, Mr. Painter. Like, he's like, I'm painting a house right now. Like, this could be a text. So think about the way you communicate with people, but try to have 5 to 10 conversations a day. Show your gratitude. So whether that's through those handwritten cards, when your clients use you, show how much you appreciate their business. Always thank people for their business. Love on your VIP clients. So those people that do consistently refer you, always, like, even if you only have 2, like, just take good care of those people that are feeding you. If you've got investor clients that have given you like 3+ transactions, these are A+ clients that you want to keep in your gratitude list. So have some VIP clients on there. Like I said, if you're not getting referrals from your people, high chance is you haven't asked. So if you don't ask for referrals, you can't expect them. So you just have to get used to asking for referrals. And if you don't give or service your clients properly, you also can't expect to receive. So if you're just winging it, you're taking your buyer to some showings and you're not really taking it seriously, like, start to think of the long-term effects of how well you treat this client. Because if you treat them well, you give them a good experience, it's positive, it's fun, there's going to be a higher chance that they're going to refer you in the end. So always think about the future. Even if you hate that client could be the biggest pain in your butt, but that guy might be a good referral partner in the future. So you just never know. Practice asking. So again, we're going to go over these scripts again, but just in case, I've got some people that are ready to go and they've got their contact list or they want to start prospecting in the next week or so. Reach out to them and just say, hey, is there anyone in your circle that might be looking to buy or sell that I could support? That's a very simple text message you could send to people, email, call. Mr. and Mrs. Seller. So when you are sitting in front of a client, just say, my main goal is to do such a great job for you that you can't help but refer me to your family and friends. So when they know that you work on a referral-based business, I feel like they know that you're going to do a good job as well. And I've learned that from Tom's story. I don't know who's met Tom's story, but he makes a point of this. Okay, so for my newbies that are sitting in this session being like, I don't have a network and I already did my contact list and it didn't work kind of thing. So, or your network hasn't been ready. Maybe you already just did your calls this week and no one was ready to buy or sell. Maybe you have some bills to pay and business is slow. We were just talking about the market and how it's chilled out a lot. Consider growing your database by working with lease clients. And I know Morale's gonna kill me because she's a lease queen or has been, but this is how you grew your database, right? I am concerned for those that I've spoken to that feel like they're above leases, especially if you're in your first few years or when you're in a bind right now and you can't pay your bills. If you think that you're above leases, I'm really concerned for you because I've seen people like Morale who came in with no network at all. And we got you into leases and you've converted those leases now into buying in referrals, right? So, and I heard that as a very common theme for when I went again to the Buzz conference, we had people standing on the stage that have been doing this for 10, 12 years plus. Every single person on that stage started with leases, every single one of them. You can, if you watch Ryan Serhant, he'll tell you I started with leases. And that's just how we all start. I know the lease market's a little intense right now, so that's discouraging for a lot of agents, but if you're struggling and you're not working with any clients right now, you should be doing leases. It's $1,000, which is $1,000. So I highly suggest getting in there. And if you need help creating an ad, come talk to me afterwards and I can maybe help you guys come up with something to get more lease clients. But the reason I recommend doing the leases is because it is a way to grow your network as well. It's a way for you to get used to meeting new people, meeting people that you would have never met before. You get to know buildings and areas. I think that's literally how I got to know downtown Toronto, was doing leases. You just go into buildings, you meet concierge, you get to know amenities. That's, if you're not working with buyers and sellers right now, you probably don't know anything about any condo buildings or any particular neighborhoods because you're not out there doing showings, you're not putting in any offers or anything like that. So get out there and do some leases at least and start to work with some people. It also gets you used to doing paperwork. Gets you used to negotiating an offer. It's a great time actually for leases because you are probably going to be in bidding wars actually. So you're going to get used to that entire process so that when you've got a buyer client, you're going to realize, okay, I know what I'm doing. And then the most important thing is that you're consistently adding to that database. So even if that person's leasing, maybe in a year from now, they'll consider buying. They may have family and friends that are buying. There's a whole referral network there. And I don't know, Morale, have you gotten referrals from your leases for their family and friends? Yeah. So even though they're not buying right away, these people know people as well. So you're really just growing your network of people. And it's a pain in the butt. I'm going to tell you, I'm sure Morale's exhausted. How many did you do? Like over 100, 200, 250 leases. So when people tell me that leases don't work, I always just refer to Morale. And I'm sure she'll be happy to tell you. Oh, Chad. Yeah. The practice asking. Yeah. So I've even seen agents. Again, I was listening to a podcast. The guy did 60 leases his first year. He was 24 years old. And he converted 30 of those into buyers and sellers. And so he just said, I started there. And then eventually he got tired of leases. And from there, he ended up hiring a lease agent because he was still getting calls for leases, but was kind of grown out of that because now he was working with the buyers. So he hired a lease agent. So now he's got that part of his business still coming in. Once he got tired of working with the buyers and running around and doing CMAs, he now has buyers specialists and he's just doing listings. So that's how he actually grew his team, was from leases. So I don't know. I think the trick's condos, to be honest. I don't know. Was that your trick? Yeah. But we can chat about that more if you guys want strategy on it. Okay, so you may not see results right away. And I get a lot of people that tell me that. They say, Katie, I did reach out to my contacts and no one's ready. And I'm not expecting someone to say, yes, I'm ready to buy. Like, it's when you're doing your calls with them. That's not the point. The point is to build relationships with these people. But just because you don't see results right away, it doesn't mean that it's not working. I'm sorry, I had to take some water. So like I was saying at the very beginning, an agent's database has been the #1 source of business and has been for many, many, many years. So I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel, and it's simple, not sexy, it's boring, but it works if you work it. So I'm sure I'll get rebuttals saying it didn't work, but I know it works. Consistently, yeah.
One call and expect it.
Exactly. So those that didn't hear it, Ginny, like, don't expect to send one like Christmas card and expect everyone to call you, be like, I want to buy my house. Like, that's not the point of it. The point is just to consistently remind them that you're in the business and you're still working and you're still thinking about them. And then eventually they will call you. So you want to focus on all those small tasks. What?
Playing you in his pocket.
Oh,
Hearing your voice.
it's in his pocket. Claire, can you turn your phone off? So you want to build relationships with these people by focusing on those small tasks. And that is the secret pill. This is the secret recipe for success in a sales business. And that's it. It's just building those relationships. It's not the color of your logo or what your logo looks like. It's not that website that you made all sexy and pretty and like are so proud of. It's not that billboard that your face is on a highway, and it's none of that. Like, so don't get overcomplicated with those little tiny details. It's literally in those relationships that you're building with people. And I'm sure you've heard your network is your net worth. That's literally why. So the people that you know is the more people you know, the more money you're going to make, basically. So what's next? Does anybody have questions on any of that? I keep forgetting to check my Facebook, people. I'll get in there. Perfect. So our homework, because we love homework, is to start your contact list if you have not already. So if I've got my brand new people that haven't gotten to that homework yet from Ginny, that's the only focus you guys should be on. Don't worry about your headshots. Don't worry about your logos. Don't worry about your business cards, all that. Get that contact list in. That's literally, Ginny tells you guys to do this stuff for a reason. If you've got your contact list and you're one of my more experienced agents, get that top core 100 referral and start reaching out to a bunch of people in the industry or people that you, again, get your hair done with. Where do you buy your clothes? All those things. Who cleans your house? All those people, start to reach out to them. If your cleaner has another real estate agent, you need to fire her and get a new one. Sorry. Or you need to get on her realtor referral list and ask her how to get there, because I want to make sure you guys are keeping your network up to what kind of helping you guys build a business too. So week 2, I'm going to continue for the next 4 weeks focused on our database in different ways. So next week, we're going to be talking about how to prospect to your database. So I'm going to go over a little bit more of those scripts and stuff, as well as new business. So I am going to talk about cold calling and all of that stuff too. Week 3, we're going to go more into scripts, dialogues, and objection handling, our favorite. And then week 4, we're going to get into 2023 business planning. So I know it's only going to be November, but you should be starting to think about 2023 now, especially because closings are 60, 90 days from now. So we're going to start to talk about 2023 as well. So I think that is all I have. Thank you. I forgot I made a thank you slide. If you guys need help, don't hesitate. Book a meeting with us. Book one-on-ones. Ginny does lots of one-on-ones. She loves them. So if you do need some help with your database, your Excel sheets, just reach out to us so that we can help you. I will put this recording as well on YouTube, so I'll send out that link as well. So if you want to rewatch this, I'll even include the slides as well for you guys. Any questions from anybody? Any new things that you learned? Probably not. Not bad.
Great job.
All right. So hopefully we all start to do it. I listened to his really good podcast this week, and even though I teach this a lot, and I'm sure you've heard me teach this a lot, he said, sometimes when you give knowledge, sometimes you're not ready to receive that knowledge yet. So maybe if you heard me talk about your database 2 years ago and you still haven't done the database, but now you're ready. So sometimes you're not ready to receive that knowledge. And hopefully maybe if you guys are ready to receive it and start to implement it a little bit. But if you are slow in business right now, just start building that database. Would you like to come on in for your final statement? Claire's here.
Yeah, I'm here. Are you still recording?
Yep. Come on in. Oh, wait.
Oh.
No.
I'm trying to make this evergreen. So, anybody read the news today about the inflation rate? So that was good news, right? I don't know if you caught my meeting yesterday morning, but I talked about how the newspapers now want to do doom and gloom, and they're clickbait. They're trying to sell papers and stuff like that. Look at the numbers. I think the inflation rate came in today, what, 6.5? I didn't see the actual numbers. 6.5, and the month before it was 7 something or other. And the month before that it was 7.5 or something. The month before that it was 8%. So it's going down from 8, 7.5, 7, 6.5. That's great news. So they're talking about October 26th having an increase in the overnight rate. And people are talking about 0.75%, maybe 1%. I'm not so sure. I wouldn't be surprised if they kept it the same after seeing that thing today, right? So that's encouraging news. And the average price. You guys know the average price from June, July, September, the average price has gone up.
Yeah.
So again, the papers are doom and gloom, bubble, crash, recession. Meanwhile, the prices have been going up, inflation's going down. So we're on the right track. So be positive. These are things to talk to your clients about. Right, so be positive with those things. As far as your past client database, yeah, 80% of your business is going to come from your past client database. And 20% is going to come from people you don't know. So what's in addition to the database here, what are you doing for 20%? Right, so you need to put a little spice into the database as well. But I was listening to it today. I thought it was a good session, right? There's traders from the years ago said that years ago, if you've got some mechanic there and they've got somebody else that's that they're buying real estate with, get another mechanic.
I know it sounds
This-
harsh,
this-
but
this
it's
is-
business.
Yeah,
This is-
Katie,
this is the way it
probably
is,
has to
right?
fire-
I just had to fire everybody, sure knew.
And hopefully you guys can do the Brian Buffini. Brian Buffini, he had a statement on there. It's called the mayor campaign. And the script there was Mr. Mechanic there, if you know somebody that's thinking about buying or selling real estate, do you have a realtor that you'd recommend?
Yeah, my wife's a
My
realtor.
wife's a realtor. Thank you very much. Or no, I don't. I said, I want to be that person. Can I keep you up to date with all what's going on in the marketplace? If people come to you, can you pass that name on to me so I can contact them? So it's a script. It's a script, right? So you know, if you know somebody's thinking about buying and selling real estate, do you have a realtor that you recommend? So that's a very powerful script. All right. So do the Mike Ferry stuff, do this.
Yep.
And don't get overwhelmed.
Yeah, try to dumb it down as much as I can.
Yeah, don't, it's not, you know,
It's very simple.
it's not rocket science, really. That's all I got to say.
Try to talk to 5 people a day.
Yeah, 5 people a day.
Let's start at the low number.
Awesome.
Okay, guys.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for my internet people and our live people. But if you have questions, you know where to find us. Chat soon.